My father-in-law cut me out of my family photos at our daughter's first birthday. Your family only, he said. My wife did not defend me. I left the party early. By the time they needed me to co-sign their mortgage refinance, I was already fleeing for divorce. My father-in-law waved me out of the frame like I was photobombing a stranger's wedding. Step back, Jason, real family only. I stood there holding Ima, my daughter 10 months, 3 weeks and 2 days old, her first birthday party. 57 people crammed into the Riverside Community Center. We entered for $300. Pink and gold balloons spent 2 hours arranging that morning. A custom cake shaped like a teddy bear that cost more than my weekly grocery budget. I'm her father, I said. Frank gestured impatiently. His Nikon D850. The camera's heat mentioned cost north of 3 grand at least a dozen times, catching the overhead lights you made in there's different. Blood relatives, come on, we are losing the flight. The thing about humiliation is how it moves through your body. Start in your chest, this hot crushing weight, then your hands. Mine went completely numb. I looked down and couldn't feel Emma's weight anymore. Couldn't feel my fingers gripping her little polka dot dress. I looked at Sarah, my wife, the woman we'd been waiting with for 4 years, married for 18 months. The woman who'd held my hand through my mother's funeral, who'd helped me quit smoking, who'd cried in my arms when she found out she was pregnant. Waiting for her to say something, she avoided my eyes, reached over and took Emma from my arms. The room went silent. 57 people. Sarah's three sisters, their husbands, their kids, her aunts and uncles, cousins. I would met maybe twice. My parents had been able to make it their chemo schedule. I told them not to worry, said we would FaceTime them during the cake. Every single person watched me step aside. Frank positioned everyone. Smile his photographer smile. The one he used to weddings when he was working, not the tight gains he gave me at Thanksgiving. Cracked jokes about everyone squeezing in. Sun 18 peel. This is not a wide angle lens. Took 12 photos. I counted 12 different configurations of Sarah's family. I stood alone against the wall next to a folding table covered in unopened presents. Gifted, I would help pay for, wrapped in the nursery while Sarah fed Emma. And I was at my own daughter's first birthday. When the photos finished, Frank walked past me carrying his camera bag. Nothing personal, Jason. Just want to bloodline documented properly. Bloodline like we are breeding through breads. I found my case in my jacket pocket. Took me 3 tries because my hands were shaking. Sarah caught me at the door. Emma glanced on her hip. Where are you going? Home. Jason, don't be dramatic. It's just a photo. Your father called me an outsider and you handed him our daughter. He's old-fashioned and you're my wife. My breast came out flat dead. You should have defended me. She crossed her arm, shifting Emma to her other side. You're making this bigger than it is. He did not mean it like that. I stared at her, really looked at her, at the woman who had promised to forsake all others, who stood in front of 140 people and vowed to honor me. Now I'm finally seeing it clearly. I left. I sat in my driveway for 23 minutes, hands shaking so badly I could not get the key in the ignition. Our house, the 3-bedroom ranch we would bought 14 months ago. The ones our parents had helped with the down payment. The ones where her mother had opinions about every paint color looked different. Smaller, like a trap, my phone buzzed. Sarah, you are embracing me. Not, you are right. I should have said something. Not, I'm sorry. You're missing me. Open my contacts, scroll to me technical Rosenthal, the lawyer who handled our house, closing good guy patient. I explained every document twice because I would be apparent about signing something wrong. It was 3:47 p.m. on a Saturday. I called anyway. He answered the third ring. Jason, everything okay? I need a divorce lawyer. Silence. Then can you come to my office? Monday morning, 8:30. Yes. Don't sign anything. Don't agree to anything. Don't move out of the house. Bring your financial documents, pay stubs, bank statements, credit cards, bills for the last 6 months. I hung up, went inside, started pulling the files from our home office. Monday morning, Nickel officers smelled like coffee and old books. He sat across from me in a burgundy leather chair, legal pad in front of him. Reading glasses passed on his nose, walked me through it. I told him every detail, the birthday party, the photos. Frank's exact words, Sarah's silence in text message. Mitchell took notes, did not interrupt. When I finished, he set down his pen. How long has this been going on? The years since we started eating, giving me examples. The examples came easily, too easily. I would see storing them, apparently cataloging every slide. Thanksgiving 2 years ago, Frank carved the turkey, made a big show of giving the first slices to the real Hendersons. Harry got on my plate last after Sarah's 14 years old nephew. Christmas, Frank organized a family trip to their cabin in the Provence. Everyone invited except me. Sarah went left me home alone for 4 days. Yesterday family photos again. That's the bloodline. Sarah had charged. Said it was easier not to fight him last summer. They would had cousin's wedding. I was not included in their family table. Sarah sat with her parents and siblings. Ate with the DJ and the wedding planner. Nithal wrote it all down. Flipped page. Finally looked up. Jason, I have to ask, has Sarah physically harmed you? Does she prevent you from seeing Emma? No. Does she contribute financially to the household? We split everything 50 to 50. She makes slightly more than he may actually. Does she want the divorce? I have not told her I am feeling. Nithal nodded slowly. Pennsylvania is no fault divorce state. You don't need to prove abuse or adultery, but custody, that's different. I need you to understand something. Courts favor shared custody. Mothers often have an advantage, especially with children under 2. My stomach dropped. She's taking Emma away. Not necessarily, but you need to be prepared for a fight. You need to document everything. Every interaction with Sarah and her family. Every text message, every phone call. Get a composition notebook, write down dates, times, what was said. Do it tonight. Okay, I will file the petition this week. Sarah will be served at her workplace. It's standard procedure. She was going to be angry. I know. Jason Little leaned forward. Are you sure about this? On-site file. There's no taking it back quietly. This becomes public record. I thought about standing against that wall. About 57 people watching me be erased from my daughter's birthday. Filio Thursday afternoon, 2:17 p.m. I was at work. I'm a civil engineer for the country, mostly reviewing municipal water treatment proposals. My phone exploded. Sarah called 17 times in a row. I let them all go to voicemail, then text. What the Jason? Answer your phone. Are you sent? I got up at work. Everyone saw call me right now. I turned my phone face down. Went back to reviewing a stormwater management plan for a new housing development. The supervisor Dennis Chan, a woman in her mid-50s who had been with the country for 23 years, knocked on my cubicle wall. You okay? Everyone came sliding up, family stuff. She nodded, did not pry. That's what I liked about Dennis. Professional boundaries at 4:30. I left work, drove to my parents' house across town. My dad was having a good day. Chamberlain Frost had been butchered lately, but today he was sharp. My mom answered the door, took one look at my face, and pulled me inside. What happened? I told them everything. My dad sat in his recliner, the same green lazy boy he would had since I was in middle school. He listened. When I finished, he was quiet for a long moment. That meant disrespected you in front of your daughter. Yeah, your wife allowed it. Yeah, they were doing it right thing. Looked at my mom. We asked him to know his oath. My phone rang. Sarah again. Answered this time. Put it on the speaker. Are you insane? Her voice was chill. Panicked. You filled it for divorce. Yes, over photo. Over 3 years of being treated like I don't belong in my own family. We can fix this. You had your chance when your father called me an outsider. You could have said something. You did not just say, please, I am at my parents' house. Do not call me again unless it's about Emma. I hung up. My mom made me dinner. Put roast potatoes, green beans, and the same meal she would made every Sunday. When I was going up, comfort food. Stay here tonight, she said. I should go home, Jason. My dad's voice was firm. Stay, stayed. Friday morning, 7:42 a.m. Some other called answered. Mistake, you are being selfish. Linda Anderson burst defeated with disgust. Think about Emma. I'm thinking about Emma. I'm thinking she deserves a father who does not teach her. It's okay to let people disrespect her husband. You are tearing this family apart. Your husband did that when he made it clear. I'm not family. Frank is old-fashioned. You knew that when you married Sarah, being old-fashioned does not mean treating people like their disposal. We helped you buy that house, and I will be made every mortgage payment on time. The house is on both our names. Money was a gift, not a leash. Sarah is distraught. She had been crying for 2 days. Then maybe she should have thought about that before she handed our daughter to a man who called a man outsider. Need to drop this divorce nonsense and apologize. I hung up, blocked her number, blocked Frank's number, blocked Sarah's sister and her aunt Carol, who texted me that morning calling me a vindictive to coward. Mitchell had told me to document everything. Pull out the conversion notebook. He would recommended a cheap marble covered thing from CBS and started writing. Thursday 2:17 p.m. Sarah called 17 times, served the at network. Thursday 7:33 p.m. Sarah called, said we can fix this, and told her no. Friday 7:42 a.m. Linda Henderson called, said I'm tearing the family apart. I blocked her. The list grew longer every day. The next 2 weeks were a blur of layers and meditation and paperwork. Mitchell filed a custody petition because shared physical custody 50-50. Time with Emma, Sarah lawyer. Kristen Wing, a family law specialist with a reputation for being ruthless, countered with a primarily physical custody to Sarah, limited visitation for me. She's cramming you, wanted the family, Mitchell said during our meeting on Tuesday. Left the birthday party, did not come home at that night. Went to my parents' house. I know, but she's framing it as abandonment. We need to counter that. When the last time you saw Emma? Saturday morning, I picked her up from a painting tank. 2 hours. Surprised by Sarah. How would it go? No, was fine. Sarah cried the entire time, he asking if I changed my mind. What did you say? No, Matal made a note. Good. Stay consistent. Do not engage emotionally. Everything is about Emma now. You are not divorcing Sarah because you are angry. You are doing it because you want to raise your daughter in an environment where both parents respect each other. That's true, I know, but I need to make sure that courts know it too. Sarah called me every single day, sometimes multiple times, crying, begging, threatening, you are going to regret this. If you will make sure you never see Emma. I will tell the court you are unstable. Please, Jason, please, I love you. I stopped answering. Let everything go to voicemail. Saved every message. Mitchell said they would be useful if things got ugly. Things got ugly. Week there. Week 3, Sarah's lawyer submitted a motion claiming I would be emotionally abused and controlling, that I would be isolated from her family, that I would pressured her into marriage. I stared at the documents in Michael's office, handshaking. Is this real? It's a common tactic. They tend to paint you as the bad guy. We respond with evidence to the contrary. Do you have text message from Sarah, emails, anything showing your relationship was healthy? I pulled out my phone, scrolled through 2 years of message. So December 2022, I'm so lucky I found you. You are my best friend, Sarah, March 2023. And it is being difficult again. Thank you for being patient with him. Sarah, July 2023, Emma is perfect. You are going to be an amazing dad, hundreds of messages. Loving, normal, nothing abusive. Mitchell smiled. Send this to me, all of them. 4 weeks in, Frank called. I almost didn't answer. The number was not blocked. I had forgotten to add it after blocking Linda's suggestions. We need to talk about what? Our mortgage. His voice was tight, strained, spit in a way I'd never heard before. The banks we're used to refinance. Interest rates went up 3 points since we bought the house in 2019. Our monthly payment is going from $2,400 to $3,800. I set up straight. I was at my apartment. I moved out of this house 2 weeks prior. Got in a 1-bedroom in a complex near my office. Temporary until the divorce settled. New York credit score is excellent, 780. Last I checked, I need you to co-sign. The word narrowed, everything else fell away. Why would I do that? Because we are family. I laughed. Actually, I laughed. A sharp, bitter sound that surprised me. Family, real family, right? That's what we said. Silence on the line. I could hear Frank breathing heavy. Raised, Frank, you made it very clear I'm not real family. To find someone who is. Just so unreasonable. I'm being reasonable. Wanted to blood relatives only. Ghost one of them. None of them qualify. Full credit is short. From the dinner's bankruptcy. Linda's sister has a 620 score. Sarah Badar has 3 kids in college and can't take on more debt. Not a problem. If we don't refinance, we lose the house. My heart pounded. 3 years of mission every whole day. Nikita is always the outsider. Every family photo where I was cropped out, deleted out, every time Sarah had said, he does not mean it. He would have swallowed dead. In family photo where I cropped out, edited out, every time Sarah had said, he doesn't mean it. Every time I swallowed my anger and smile. Should have thought and about the before you cut me out of my daughter's birthday photos. That was just Frank's voice crack. That was just being stupid. I will apologize. We'll all will. Formal apologize. Whatever you want, too late. Please, Sarah needs to us to keep this house. She grew up here. This is my heritage. Sarah made her choice. She stood by while he humiliated me, while he told me he was not familiar. She did not say a word. I walked to my car, drove to my parents' house. My dad was sleeping. The chemo made him tired, but my mom was in the kitchen making so up. I heard it to go 50-50 custody. She hugged me, held on tight. Your father proud of you. I'm proud of you. Frank had a heart attack. She pulled back, looked at me, and nothing. I just thought you should know. She needed slowly. Jason, I'm going to tell you something your grandmother told me when I left your father's brother's wedding early after his wife made a comment about my dress. She said, you teach people how to treat you. Every time you accept disrespect, you give the permission to do it again. Stop giving permission. They lost their house. They lost their house because they could not afford it without help. That's not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to your daughter to show her what it means to have boundaries, to have self-respect. 6 months later, I'm sitting in my new apartment, a two-bedroom now. So Emma has her own room during my weeks, watching her plays with blocks on the living room floor. She's 15 months old, starting to say words. Dada, mom, no, that's her favorite. My phone buzzes. It texts from Sarah. My parents are moving to Arizona. And that's by the what they may roam. I don't respond. Another text. Did want to apply to the family. Face to face. I typed in the my dad died 2 years ago. Pancreatic cancer, stage 4, 12 months from diagnosis to the end. He met Emma 6 months during my custody weeks. Tell her, sang to her, told her stories about when I was little. You did good, Jason, he said during our last conversation. More pine made him dreamy. Distant. We showed her dignity matters. Never met Frank. Never spoke to Sarah's family again. At the funeral, Sarah showed up, stood in the back. Right before the reception, she would send flowers, a card. I'm sorry for your loss. Not I'm sorry for everything. Not I was wrong. Just I'm sorry for your loss.